I am in Siem Reap. I've made it to the Angkor Wat ticket booth. As you can see, the tickets can be purchased there, and it is around 4:30, 4:40 a.m. But here is the banner for the Angkor tickets. 1 day pass is 37. That's what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna do the day one. Can even get it with your all sorts of credit card, even Google Pay, Samsung Pay, MasterCard, all sorts of different payments for the entrance. Definitely looking forward to the sunrise. I've been watching a few documentaries on Angkor Wat, but I don't think that's sufficient. But as you can see, here's the elephant. All sorts of different things in this area. But wow, so I'm gonna go inside and try to get my ticket. Looks very beautiful. I had very little sleep last night, so let's see how this plays out. All right, so where do I go? I guess anywhere? Is it any booths available? All right, they have numbers 33, 34, 35. And also, I forgot to say that I did rent a tuk-tuk. I'm not sure if it's a tuk-tuk, but it's like a 4-seater kind of tuk-tuk. And it was about 20 bucks. Yeah, $20. And what's good is that he's gonna drive me around the different sites of Angkor Wat, different temples. And it's an all-day thing, so he picked me up at my hotel and he's gonna drop me off. And they also told me if I need lunch, he can drive me to a place, wherever it is, I guess, or wherever I want. So see how that works. But where is the booth? I'm not sure which booth to go to. I guess, is it just any booth I can go to, or there's some vending machines over there too, automated tellers, but I want to pay with my credit card. So let's see, maybe over here or over here. I'm not really sure. Can I pay here, or hi, can I pay here?
How many days?
One?
Oh, sorry, 1 day you move over.
Oh, 1 day over here? Oh, sorry. All right, so 1 day is over here. Ah, okay. So it looks like the 1 day is over here on this side. Wonder if this booth is available. Oh, okay, perfect. Hi.
1 day?
1 day.
In here, where you come from?
US?
US. Only one person.
Only one?
10 floor, US only.
Okay, well, I guess I gotta take my picture here. Oh, do I take my cap?
Yeah.
Alright, so I purchased my ticket, but I think that I'm waiting to get a receipt of sorts, or an entrance ticket. Okay, so I actually got my ticket, and my ticket comes with my picture. So that's why they took my picture, so that they can put it on my ticket. That's kind of interesting. I've never seen something like that, where they impose or embed my own picture onto the ticket. I wonder if that's for entrance issues, or maybe like you can't buy it for someone else. So that's pretty cool. So my ticket has the price that I paid, the date of entry and the date of expiration, and then also a signature on there, and a QR code, like a very special QR code. I've never seen a QR code like this. Just a very interesting QR code. But wow, yeah, but yeah, here's the map too. I got a little map for the Angkor Wat area. It's map of Angkor Wat, and it's the entire map. I like keeping some of these, as you know. If you watch my video on the Ho Chi Minh City Metro, I used to make some of these flyers for different businesses. So a lot of work on PowerPoint, Canva, and Illustrator. Yeah. These can be kind of hard to make sometimes, right? So anyways, here is my tuk-tuk, you can see. So You can see it's a 4-seater. Bike is in the front. Very beautiful, and it is getting a little bit packed. I was one of the first in, and now there are more people coming in. So if you are gonna come in early and be ready to go. We ready? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. All right. So looks like we're ready to go into Angkor Wat. It is the crack of dawn. It is still night. So wow, I'm excited. My goodness. I have very little sleep, but Angkor Wat is just making me forget about sleep. Wow. There are some buses coming in, so if you're gonna get your ticket, make sure to get it as soon as possible. Also, you can get it online, but I don't know. I just wanted the total experience of going to the booth, and I don't know. Just wanted the physical stuff, I guess you could say, but yeah, here we go. Wow. Angkor Wat at 4 a.m. Wow. So I'm pretty sure you can't see anything. That is because it is still nighttime, but my driver has dropped me off here. He's somewhere over there. He told me just to look for him when I get finished. And it looks like folks are here checking tickets. Yeah, folks are here checking tickets. This is the spot where you're gonna come in and show them your ticket. I have my ticket right here. Wow, lights are bright. Folks are still up. All right, hi. I have my ticket here. And looks like there's some music that's gonna get played. Okay, this way? This way? Okay. All right, hi. All right, well, you can see it is pure dark. Can't really see much. The sky is very bright. Lots of stars in the sky. I haven't seen that in a while. That's kind of cool to be able to see that. There are tour guides who offer their services here, so something to be aware of. I am not gonna get a tour guide. I'm gonna walk around and observe. And yeah, it is dark, so I'm probably not gonna record this part, at least not until the sunrise. So, wow, can't believe how dark it is. And people are up, people are excited. I see lots of people around here. So one of the things that I just saw here on the corner is beware of monkey attacks. You can see there's a sign that says beware of monkey attack. Not sure how that is. Not sure how truthful that is, but you can see that serpent is here too. I saw it. Well, you can't really see it because it is very dark, but this serpent is one of those serpents that I saw in the city of Phnom Penh. It's actually the same shape too. Wow, yep, it's right there. Check that out. Wow. Different shape, a little bit of a different shape, but looks very similar. Yeah, it's very dark, so makes it hard to record, but I will record once the sunrise appears. So it's still pretty dark out. Folks are lining up in that area. You can't really see, but there are a lot of folks lining up in on that area. They're trying to get ready for a picture. From what I read, is that that's one of the main spots to take a picture. So I guess folks are gonna crowd there, and folks are trying to save a spot. But you can see over here, there is coffee, drinks, snacks, even umbrellas. Yeah, just a plethora of snacks here. If you are waiting for the sun to come up, if you just want to hang out, chill for a little bit, it's a good place to just hang out. Looks like I'm gonna probably just hang out for a little bit. Can't see anything. Everything is super dark. But yeah, there's a nice cat right there. He's just chilling too. I saw multiple cats around here. They're just running around. So yeah, guess I'll just sit for a little bit. So one of the things that I just encountered, I had to go to the bathroom, number one. And it does, so to use the bathroom here, it does require a payment of 25 cents or a thousand riel. So just something to be aware of when you do come. And the bathrooms are pretty clean. So yeah, so the sun is coming up now, so I'm gonna be heading to the Angkor Wat spot, to the pond. But yeah, just something to be aware of when you do come. You do have to pay 25 cents. The sun is coming up, and you can see that the sky is changing colors, or at least it is brightening up a little bit. People are super excited. There's an entire crowd here just holding their phones, ready to take that beautiful picture. You can see the outline a little bit. I'm trying to point it with my finger, but you can see the towers. There's, I want to say one, then two, and then three, and then, well, there's five, but you can't really see them from the camera, but you can see all the towers are within this area right here, as you can see. And you can see that the sky, you can't, I don't think the camera doesn't do it justice, but it is turning like a pink. There's like pink in the background. It is so beautiful. It's like a pastel dark pink. It is very beautiful. I didn't think it was gonna turn that color. I thought it was just gonna go straight to blue, but wow. Another thing that I read was that the building, or Angkor Wat, is actually facing west, and most Hindu temples faced east. So I'm not really sure why, the exact reason, but I heard something about it being dedicated to Vishnu, or I heard something about this being related to Vishnu and him being the sun god or something like that. Or I think that's could be attributed to Vishnu, which is the sun god. But wow, there it is. It's turning. You can see that the colors have changed. You can see that the sky has changed colors a little bit. So there is the temple with the sun lighting up the background of the temple. Wow, just a very beautiful view right there. And people are just all over it. People are taking pictures left and right, selfies. Oh, there's also some folks praying. But yeah, wow, there's folks over there, folks over here, folks everywhere trying to get the picture to Angkor Wat. You can see the buildings have come up, and you can see the color, right? So if I point my camera, just if I just want to show you the color of the sky, you can see there's a kind of a deep blue up there, and it kind of contrasts and contrasts, and then finally it goes into like a orangey pink pastel color, you could say. But just very beautiful. Wow, it is. It's not as full as I thought, to be honest. I thought it was going to be super jam packed. And the reason I came in the morning was because I want to avoid the heat. Because one lesson I learned was in the Royal Palace in Phnom Penh. I went they're like at 1 or 2, maybe 2 or 3. Yeah, actually, I went at 3, and I was sweating so much. I was just profusely sweating, and it was just so hot. But right now, the weather is nice, a little bit musty or misty, musky, misty, a little bit musty, misty. I'm not sure. It's just a little bit humid, I guess you could say, but not too much. Just a very good type of humid, if that even exists. But wow, very beautiful. So the sun is gonna come up, and it's just gonna, I suppose, it's just gonna light up the temple. Well, looks like this is as bright as it's gonna get. Wow. I think the area has cleared up. The sun has come up a little bit, not completely, but it has definitely brightened up. Wow. It's very beautiful. The sky has now kind of turned mostly blue, at least for the most part, but the colors definitely very beautiful. And people are still taking pictures, enjoying the view. There's some eating area over there, relax, or just kind of a hangout area over there. And over here, some folks are over here just enjoying the view. This is a full view of the temple from here. You have folks just who are sitting on this side of the temple enjoying the view. Wow. It's very beautiful. I want to see what's inside here. Looks like some kind of ruins or temple remnants. Wow, these steps are very steep, so definitely got to be careful, and also kind of narrow too. Ooh, yeah, that's a steep one. Definitely walk like this if you have to.
No.
Yesterday, instead of coming at 9 o'clock, we should have come here in the morning.
Wow. So it looks like this is a good spot to take a picture. And I like a window with Angkor Wat in the background. Wow. It's fascinating just to see the ruins. Wow. And this temple, or Angkor Wat, was built in the 12th century. So that means it was built around 800 years ago. Almost 800 years ago. Wow. Incredible. So now I am walking towards the actual building. You can see the serpents on each side. 2 serpents here, 2 serpents over here. They're actually called Nagas or something like that. I was reading about them the other night, and they are the protectors of the Angkor Wat temple. If there is one head, I think it represents supreme power or supreme ability to protect the temple. And if there are 7 heads, I think it represents the different elements, such as air, fire, water, and so forth. Wow. You can see there's a pond over there and another pond over here. Folks are excited to take pictures, just lots of pictures everywhere. Pictures. I think people just love taking pictures. Anything. I think there's a fascination with taking pictures. Wow. See what this is all about. Yeah, and there's different folks taking pictures in different sites. I think people can come and just make their own any way you want. See what this is all about. There's another one of those signs there. Beware of monkeys, but I don't see any monkeys. Hmm. More Nagas. Nagas are everywhere here. You can see them just running through here. Wow. So it looks like this is one of the pre-main entrances. Then after this, there's another exit, and then I think we'll see the close-up of the buildings. And then here, there's a sign here, do not sit on balustrade, which I believe are the Nagas, this building right here, or the structure, which are the serpents of the building. Wow. So just a word of caution for you. And definitely watch your step. I almost tripped. The steps are a little bit steep and uneven, so you never quite know how these steps are gonna go. Wow. Wow. There's a deep, deep hallway down there. So there's just different ways to get to the main buildings here. Whoa, my gosh, what? Wow. Wow. Definitely have to be careful with this. Risk of falling. If you're taking a picture, don't step in there. You can see that this building is filled with large pods inside. It's very deep. Not sure what that may be attributed to, but my feeling is there are some stairs there, and there's a platform up there, so that may lead me to believe there's some kind of ritual or some type of maybe they. Let me see. I want to see something. Are there any drains here? I remember the pyramids in Mexico had something like this, but outside you can see the architecture. It's like so intense, very beautiful, very ancient, I guess you could say. And this is a UNESCO site, so something to take a note of. Wow. I'm not really sure what the purpose of this is. I want to say it's some kind of ritual just based on how it is structured. I wonder if I can go down here. Not really sure. I don't see anybody going down here. But there are little holes on every block. There are 2 holes, and that almost wants to tell me it's some kind of drainage of sorts. Not really sure. Wow. One of the main attractions to do here at Angkor Wat, besides the sunrise, is climb the stairs all the way up there. And honestly, this reminds me of Brambatan over in Indonesia near the Yogyakarta area. Just the design and the structure, very similar. Of course, they are both of the same religion, so definitely see why that could be the case. But there it is. Wow. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the climb. It's not too
On the right side.
oh, it's not too full right now, so line is pretty fast. Steps are a little bit narrow. Wow. very steep. If you have to use the rail, you can do this by holding on. You can hold on to the rail right here if it makes you feel better. Wow. The slope is a little bit punishing. Ooh. Definitely make sure to wear comfortable shoes up here. You can see that they've built this staircase on top of the stairs right here. So before it was just these stairs, and I guess maybe that's too dangerous. So they went ahead and built this staircase on top of the stairs. Ooh. Maybe these stairs were just very slippery or very hard to, or very hard to walk. Wow. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. So there's a view from almost the top, but not completely the top. Just incredible sight. The sun has come up. Wow. There's some figures back here. Right there. Some more figures. All sorts of figures. Ooh. All right, let me. Okay. All right, so I have made it to the top, and it's very dark. It's a little bit dark. Let's see over here. Interested to see the view from here. Wow. You can see the stairs are not very well structured for a walk. They're very narrow, very not in good shape. They're definitely not in good shape. I can definitely see why they don't want people climbing or using these stairs. That makes sense. Wow. It says no access here, but people are going in through here. So I guess folks gotta go this way. And I just want to let you know that after that climb, I am starting to sweat profusely. Wow. So here is another one of those pools, I guess you could say. And it's leading me to believe, and I had read that this could be used for water or some kind of to create a pool of water. You can see that one thing that I've noticed are these drains over here. Just right here, there's a drain right there. And you can see that when it would rain, so the rain would come and then they would cover these holes, and this pool and then this area would become a pool. So there's a drain here, and there is also a drain over here. Just right around here, there is a drain right there. And I remember when I went to Mexico, they have something similar to this, where the folks create some kind of elevated space so that it can fill up during the rain or maybe during the seasonal changes. The Aztecs actually used something like this, where the water was filled up and then they could see the reflection of the stars. But there's the drain right there. Very interesting how they were able to come up with that system to create some type of water-based area to fill up the pool. So That's very interesting. So at some point, this became a large body of water filled up, and they were able to create some kind of ritual or some kind of activity. So I only see two drains, one over there and one right here. The architecture is very beautiful. It's not pristine as it would be in day one, but just the remnants of it is very beautiful. So again, this is another one of those pools or large body of water area. You can see there are drains just right there and right there. And I don't know where else there is a drain, but just those two locations, 1 and 2. So the water fills up and then they can release it. And I don't know what else they would do here. But now I want to see the opposite side of where that drain exits. Let's see if I can find a way to get there. Let's see if there's an opening to that drain. Well, can't really see it from here, but I'm guessing the water would spew out this way. I'll have to go down there and check it out. So here are some statues that have been broken or not repaired yet, but one interesting thing is that there is red on these statues. You can see the red on there. Not sure what that is. I've heard different things. I've heard it's could be paint, but not sure. You can see the red pigment there. And then here, and then here, and then here, then over here on the hands. And even on the back too. Wow. And there's a Buddha up there with a golden robe. Very beautiful. Wow. One of the interesting things I saw here was Sanskrit. It's written here. Just, I'm not sure what all this says, but the language is, or the writing is very beautiful. Wow. It's interesting how they were able to carve this into this particular stone. Not sure what they used, but it almost doesn't look very fine. It looks like there are some edges that are blunted in a way, so it must have been inscribed the hard way. Doesn't look uniform, as what I'm trying to say, but this part does look uniform, and for whatever reason it seems like this was imposed. It feels like something like this was later imposed. It just sees, I just see like the line right here. Just doesn't seem like this was done at the same time. And this definitely looks much more uniform. Different shapes. And there's a writing right there. Sanskrit writing. So now it's time to head down, and the view to head down is a little bit scary, but no worries. Just have to hold on to this guardrail right here, but take a look at that. But yeah, it's very high. Some people say don't look down, right? But wow, just incredible to see folks coming in. People are excited. Just a very beautiful here. Wow. That is very steep, just very steep going down. And you can see that there are stairs here. There are stairs here that just didn't quite seem to be a good fit for people to climb up. So you can see that they built this staircase.
Oh my god.
Yeah, definitely be careful when you're going down. Honestly, I like to walk sideways. That way it's it's a little bit safer, just one by one, just like this. And then I hold on to the rail from my back. Or maybe I can do this. I don't know. Whichever way you feel safer, it's good enough. Just step by step. Definitely don't want to have an accident here, right? Just take it easy. Slowly but surely, right? Ooh. I don't know why, but these stairs seem very small. At least when I step onto them, they just seem very small. Just side by side, just like this. It's kind of how I feel the most comfortable. All right, one more. Boom. There it is. So there's the staircase, and folks are climbing up. Just be careful because these steps are very small. Just take a look at that, just how small it is. Doesn't seem more than a foot long. So if you're long-footed, it's gonna probably be a little bit weird just to step down, but their line is getting long to climb up the stairs or to visit the temple. So that's why I wanted to come early, so that when I came earlier, there was no line. So that was really cool. No need to wait, but now there are folks waiting, and it's just something that you never know how long that line is going to be. Maybe just a few minutes or a little bit longer, but something to take note of. Wow. There are more hallways here. And one of the things I also learned as I was here is that they had nets on the top of some of these temples, like barbed nets, metallic nets, and that was to keep the bats from living there. So they have them up there. So I thought that was interesting. Just a trivia question. Looks like bats use this as a home. And rightfully so, right? It's very dark, very good conditions for bats. I'm actually gonna go the other way. Wow. The spires, I'm not sure what you actually call them, but the spires look very reminiscent to the ones in Brambatan. Brambatan? Yeah, in Brambatan, down in Indonesia.
Okay, yeah.
Wow. You can see the structure. The structure is just amazing. And I don't see those drainages. I don't see how the water is coming out or how they would spew out. Yeah, and here's the sign. Please do not enter or do not climb up there. So definitely dangerous. Those steps are just not well suited for climbing. Definitely easy to slip. Yeah, I'm looking around here and I don't see where the water would flow out. Now I'm in the outer skirts of the main temple. You can see how beautiful the grass is. It just complements the surrounding area, and as you can see, there are the nagas, the serpentines, protecting the temple. 2 of them on each side. This whole block is so it's so steep. I feel like if I jump, definitely twist my ankle. Oh my gosh, but yeah, wow, it's just very beautiful. This particular wall has carvings. Not sure what they all represent, but it looks like there's a battle of sorts. You can see there's a chariot here, there's a horse, there are folks carrying arrows, and here you can see the two gentlemen are fighting. This guy has a sword, this gentleman has a sword, this gentleman over here looks like he has a spear, and they are fighting each other just repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly. Just, it seems like it could just be the same story over and over and over again. This sculpture is a representation of war between the Devas and the Asuras. It's 94 meters long, and it depicts a battle between the Devas and the Asuras. And it looks like the god of fire is on a rhino, and Skanda is on a peacock, and Lord Vishnu is on Garuda, which is the eagle, with 9 heads and 30 arms. Wow. Lord Shiva is on an ox cart, Lord Brahma on a swan, Surya on a horse-drawn chariot, and Viruna on a 5-headed naga. I like those nagas. I don't know why. They look really, really awesome. Whoever came up with that concept of a naga just looks so cool. I don't know why, but the way they've designed the nagas is just fascinating. Never would have thought of that. It's just like a giant hydra of sorts. Like in Greek mythology, they have the hydra. Just kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Wow. So it's just an ongoing battle of sorts, and I think that's the naga right there. I'm not sure. Looks like it. Looks like it could be the naga right there. Not sure. But yeah, this whole sculpture is just dedicated to a war. So now it has definitely brightened up. It was dark when I got here, but looks amazing with the sun out. You can see here the nagas again, and I don't know why, but I've taken a liking to that particular sculpture, the nagas. Very beautiful, very, I'm not sure how to fully describe it, but just looks like a very interesting figure, like a serpent with 7 heads. I'd almost like to see how it would come out with CGI or with some kind of animation, or just represented in movies. I think that'd be just like very, very cool. I think one interesting thing that I've noted, and might have said this earlier, but there are ponds here, and I also saw ponds in Mexico similar to these. So you can see that the ponds are here. I saw something similar in Mexico where they had different ponds like this in the Mexican pyramids near Mexico City, and they use the ponds to be able to track the stars. So the stars would reflect onto the ponds. They were able to build a calendar or craft a calendar using that way. But they had different ponds. They had like 5 or 6 or maybe 8 ponds in different areas, but there's a pond over there too. I wonder if there's some kind of correlation with the ancient people doing the same thing here. But it just seems like in different cultures, water is used as an apparatus to reflect the sky and be able to track the stars, or at least be able to create some kind of calendar of sorts. So now I am exiting the Angkor Wat, the main temple at least. I'm going to another temple. But yeah, that was very fascinating. I spent a few hours here. I think I got here like around 5 a.m. Well, actually I got to the ticket booth at 5 a.m. Got my ticket, and now it's about to be 8 a.m. and I've explored as much as I wanted to explore, or at least for this session. And look at this amazing view. My goodness. I was just learning about a particular legend here about the Nagas, since I am so intrigued by the Nagas, but it talks about a Hindu prince that was, I guess his ship broke down and he fell in love with one of the daughters of the Naga kings. And so I guess the Naga king was just so impressed by this gentleman or this Hindu prince that he drank up the entire water. And so once the Naga king drank up the water, the land of Cambodia was revealed. So that is one of the legends about how Cambodia came about. Pretty interesting, right? These Nagas over here, I think they have 5 heads. So the 5 heads represent control or power over the elements. Wow. But the beauty here, just immense. So beautiful. Wow. I've really taken a fond to the Nagas. Very cool design. One last shot of Angkor Wat. It's a very beautiful. Wow. Definitely a bucket list item on my bucket. Checked off. Now I am going to another temple or another site. My tuk-tuk driver is probably out there waiting for me, asking himself, is he ever gonna come out or something? So it looks like the bathroom here is free if you have the ticket, 2,000 if you don't have the ticket, and 500 if you're a local. So now I'm going to go find my tuk-tuk driver. Not sure where he's at. He told me he'd be out here waiting for me once I finished my trip here, and then we would go other places. But if you don't have a tuk-tuk driver, you can easily find one here. And they're just all over the place here. Looks like there's tuk-tuk drivers over there, over here, down the road, down this way as well. So I'm gonna be heading to another site. So now I'm in the Bayon temple, at least that's what I think. And this temple has different towers with faces on them. There's faces all over the place, I suppose. Wow. Some type of dance of sorts. But I'm interested to see those towers with the faces on them. Not sure where they are. Let's see here. Where are those faces? You can see a lot of the ancient ruins here. Wow. Lots of writing too. Lots of carvings of all sorts. You can see some carving here. Looks like it all kind of meets at the center right there. Kind of like the Buddha. Huh. There are some stairs here because the original stairs probably are not safe to walk on. As you can see, this particular stairs, oh, those are steep. Wow. You can see the Buddha over here. There's a shrine for the Buddha with a golden mantle, I want to say. Wow. Wow. This temple is deep. My goodness, just lots of hallways, lots of corridors. Very steep. Definitely be prepared to walk and admire the different areas here. Wow. One of the things that I did not mention when I was in Angkor Wat is all of this structure is made with limestone. How they got all of this into one place, I'm not sure. Maybe they used elephants, but apparently, and the stones are made in a way where they just fit into each other. So just goes to show you, well, at least not now, right? Because now it's all ruined. But I'm guessing at the time, these stones looked very symmetrical and aligned very well with each other. Wow. You can see some kind of table here. Isn't that interesting how they made this? I'm not sure if that's the original form, but looks like some kind of table of sorts. Wow. I'm still looking for those faces. Hi, where are the faces? The face?
The big fish
Yeah, the big
Big
face
fish?
over here.
on the top, but now we are closed for
Oh.
restoration. Yeah. You can
Oh,
see,
how I can see.
you can go down there
Yeah.
and on the right side.
On the right side? Oh, okay. Thank you. So it looks like the faces are under restoration. And I'm hearing a specific sound. I've heard that sound before. That's bats. Those are bats. Hi. These bats? Bats? Yeah. Wow. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's bats. There's bats up there. I can hear them chirping. And I can also smell like the smell. Oh, yeah, there's definitely a smell. The specifically in this area right here, just a very deep. I don't know say if it's foul, but just a very pungent smell. And yeah, it's even here too. Ooh, the smell of the bats, or I'm not sure if it's the bat, but I'm pretty sure it's the bats. Wow, I'm a little bit scared because I can hear like just a big chirping of bats right up here. And I don't want to be bitten by a bat. But all right, I'm just gonna go for it. They are just above me. Oh, and these steps are not easy to come down. Okay. Oh, yeah, that is a very foul odor. I'm not sure how to fully describe it, but it's just very foul in nature. Oh my gosh. Like, as soon as I walked through that area, that odor just like went up through my sinus. And yeah, so I didn't realize there were going to be bats in here, but now that I stand here in this specific spot, I can hear the bats just in all directions, especially in this area right here. I just hear lots of chirping or gnawing. Not sure what you call the bat noise, but they are definitely there. You can see that the faces are there. There's the face there, face over there, face over there. There's more faces. I think there's a face over there too. And apparently there are about 200-ish faces, and they're all smiling. And these faces are called the Khmer smile, and they're all looking into the four directions. So you can see that face is looking this way, that face is looking that way, and then there must be some opposing faces congruent to each other. Is that correct? Or parallel to each other, or the opposing side? But yeah, you can see those two faces are. Let me see. I'm not sure if this is embarrassing, but I have to check where is my north and my location. Let me check. So it looks like I'm actually north is this way. So that means so north is this way, and then back here is south. So then, and east is this way, and west is over here. So those are the cardinal points. So for each cardinal point, there is a face and it's smiling. Wow. And every one of these towers have them. The gentleman told me that they are under construction or renovation. So Not all areas are permitted to be visible. Kind of a bummer because I was excited to see the faces. So you can see over there, they are doing some type of renovation on the temple. Not sure how exactly they are able to match the exact replica, but they are using various stones of all sorts. Yeah, I can hear the bats up there. So some have even said that these faces are able to whisper at night. I'm not sure about that. I heard the same thing about Rambanan, that there were whisperings in some rooms, and I did not hear one whisper, not one whisper at all. And so, but I think my theory is that if you come at night, or if anybody comes at night, they may interpret the chirping of the bats as the whispering. That's just my theory, but may not make sense. You can see there's a face right there. Maybe some faces are not completely visible just because of the renovation, but there's a face right there, which that face right there is pointing north. That face is facing south. That face is facing west. And then the other one on the opposing side is facing east, which is that way. Wow, just a lot of ruins here. And so there's said to be, like I said, 200-ish of these towers with faces. Not sure where exactly all of them lie, but just incredible to see that many towers and the ruins. Wow. So I actually misspoke. There are 200 faces and 54 towers. So that's what I meant. So correction on that. And as you can see, my new and favorite statue. And I'm going to keep doing more research on this, but here are the Nagas. Right here, front and center. The Nagas are here protecting this temple or this establishment. Wow. And another thing I want to say is that before I came to Angkor Wat, my plan was to stay near the Angkor Wat temple. And my plan was going to be to walk to Angkor Wat. I was going to walk to the ticket booth. Then I was going to make my way to the Angkor Wat entrance walking. And then throughout the day, I was going to go visit the different temple sites. And boy, was I wrong. There is absolutely no way that this is walkable. Absolutely no way. Just because on the map, it seemed like it was like a park, kind of like where everything could be walkable, but there is just no way that anybody can walk all this in one day. Yeah, there's just absolutely no way. So I am very glad that I got the tuk-tuk for $20. And yeah, even like coming from Angkor Wat to this temple right here, the walking distance, it's just a lot, you know, so it's just very far. So I don't think there's no way I could have done it just walking. And I love walking, especially in cities and mountains and just all sorts of places. But yeah, this one, there's no way that I could have walked it. So I recommend getting a tuk-tuk for your trip to the Angkor Wat, because it's just not Angkor Wat that you're seeing. It's just all the remaining sites around Angkor Wat. And if you just want to do Angkor Wat, then I guess, yeah, you can do it without a tuk-tuk if you stay near Angkor Wat. But if you want to see the other ruins, you definitely need a motorbike, some bicycles. But even a bicycle, it just seems like it would be tough to bike all the areas. Definitely have to be in good shape to do that, especially with the heat. But the tuk-tuk I think works fine. It's $20 and takes you all around the different sites. So that's what I'm doing today. I am very happy I did that because actually I didn't get much sleep last night. So that's why I chose to do the tuk-tuk. Otherwise, I would have jeopardized my my trip and just gone for a walk through to Angkor Wat. But I'm glad I did the tuk-tuk. But wow, you can see the ruins over here. But there are more. But going back to the ruins here, let's take a look at that. Wow. So this is one of the main entrances here. Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Where are you from?
Oh, US. Yeah, thank you. So you can see one of the main faces is here, just right up there. And you see the face is pointing, each face is pointing to a different direction, north, south, west, and east, and they are all smiling. That's the Khmer smile. Wow. And there is a monkey approaching me. Oh, he now is not approaching me anymore. So it looks like it's the crossing of a path. All right. Looks like he's a peaceful monkey. And of course, there are some places where just not walkable, like this, for example. I definitely like to check that out. I want to see what's up there. But unfortunately, there's a sign here. No climbing. Do not climb. And you can tell that the reason is these steps are in absolutely not in good shape. Definitely can see someone slipping. So I am on my way to the other temple, but there are so many monkeys here. There's monkeys everywhere. Just trying to get around. Hi, where's the hi. Where's the other temple? Bathroom?
Bathroom?
Yeah. No, not bathroom. No, let's see.
Bapuan.
Bapuan?
Yes.
Where Bapuan? Bapuan.
Bapuan over there.
Here? Oh, Bapuan. Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry. Alright, so I am headed to the Bapuan temple, and you can see the monkeys here. This monkey appears to have been in a fight or so. Part of his skin has been torn off on the side. Wow. I've heard some of the monkeys can be hostile. Just being careful. So I am gonna go through here. Hopefully I'm not invading their area. But you can see some of the blocks here, the ruins, and the monkeys are just relaxing in this area. Wow. There's also like different figures like that, for example. Not sure what that is, but definitely looks more crafted than the other ones. The other ones look like blocks of sorts. Some of these blocks have some type of carving. And yeah, one of the monkeys has a water bottle. So he's carrying a water bottle. I don't see monkeys on the trees. They seem to be laying on the blocks or laying low. But yeah, here are the monkeys. Monkeys are eating, relaxing, just having a pretty good time. It is getting sunnier and sunnier. So definitely be aware that the temperature here, or the climate, is a little bit punishing. At least the closer it gets to the afternoon, like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., definitely can be very hefty, especially walking around and having coverings. But wow, this temple is massive. My gosh. Oh, there are two pools, or a lake of sorts. Wow. So this is one of the most incredible paths that I've seen here. My gosh. So this path leads right into the Bafun pyramid here. And at one point, this was the largest structure here in Angkor Wat, but yeah, eventually, like all things, it fell apart, broke down. There's all the stones right there. Wow. One thing I've read about this pyramid, or at least that's what it looks like a pyramid or building, is that it's a very steep climb. So I'm already pretty tired from walking around Angkor Wat and then walking the Bayon temple, but I'm still gonna do this. I am running low on fuel, but no worries. Somehow gotta make it through, right? So I've heard these steps are very, very steep, so check that out. Very steep steps. So when thinking about climbing something like this, you gotta think about going up, but also going down, right? So it's a two-way street. Gotta have energy for both, right? The way in and the way out. Wow, that is beautiful. The stones are just placed randomly all over the place, just all around. There's a very beautiful pool of water over there. It almost looks like a yellow misty green, I want to say. Wow. Ooh. So I guess there must be an entrance because I see folks all the way up there, so I'm gonna get up there here real quick. Ooh. You can see a lot of these corridors. You can see this door is very small. It actually says, mind your head. So just gotta duck down a little bit. Oh, wow. That is a very high place. That's for sure. Ooh. Definitely getting a good workout here. Wow. Oh, there's the stairs are over there. And that is steep. Can already see the slope. Ooh. It's gonna be a good climb. So it looks like this pyramid also is recognized for marking the transition between Hinduism and Buddhism. I actually just hit myself. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these entries are a little bit low, so definitely be careful getting through those entries. Ouch. Just hit myself, but no worries. All right. Well, let's see how I can climb this very steep staircase. Wow. Ooh, yeah, that is steep. Wow. Take a look at that. There's folks taking a picture up there too. So looks like but the stairs definitely look quite steep. It's gonna be a climb, a good climb up and a good climb down. All right. So there's the climb right there. You can see the building on this side, and you can see again there are stairs, but these stairs are just not very optimal for climbing. They're just not in a good condition. But let's see how this goes. Oh, can feel a little bit of a weakness in the wood. Not sure if it's me or what, but maybe I gained some weight. You can see a crack right here, so just got to be careful climbing these, but hold on to the rail and should be easy. Ooh. Don't forget leg workout. Wow. I can feel the sun scorching my back a little bit. Ooh. Oh, wow. There's, oh, one of these panels is very loose. Wow. You can see, I feel like this panel is about to break. Ooh, definitely be careful. You can see some of the carvings right there. There's some folks on the chariot. Yeah, wow. You can see that's the steepness going down. It's very tall. I'm still not done. Oh, I just tripped. I'm still not done. I still gotta go up the other one. Need to get to the top. So looks like it just gets a little bit steeper and steeper. These blocks, a little bit small, but no worries there. We'll get through it. All right, let's see. Ooh. The heat, the sun also does not help in this case. You can see the different type of carvings over here. Pretty fascinating. Just how they're able to carve different figures, different stories into the blocks. I think that's pretty awesome. Different shapes, different designs. Wow. It's incredible. All right, let's go for the climb. Here we go. I think I'm gonna go on my right side. Folks are coming down on the left side. On the left side. Ooh. Oh, this rail seems a little bit loose. Check that out. Just seems quite loose. And now there is no rail. All right, no more rail. So I'm here in the middle of the stairs. Ooh. This big block here is kind of being I'm using this block a little bit as a leverage. So, all right, no more rail. The rail, I guess they just didn't have enough space to wedge the rail between here. So I guess you could use your hands, but I don't know if that's a good idea. Oh. All right, the rail just appeared, but wow. The sun is scorching. Oh. All right, I think this is the top. If not, I'll go up one. But wow, just incredible. The columns, the panorama here, just so beautiful. Wow. I'm excited to see this view right here. Ooh, yeah, that is good. That is beautiful. Wow. This architecture almost reminds me of like a cathedral-esque. I don't know if, or like a plaza. Not sure if that's even remotely sensical, but there's a lot of dragonflies just flying all over the place. Yeah. My gosh. Yeah, lots of dragonflies. Not sure if the camera can catch them, but looks like the altar is up there. There are some offerings and a burnt offering there. Wow. Just a very beautiful place. Very serene, very quiet. Just the panorama is just so beautiful. Wow, and for whatever reason, there is a gust of wind just coming at me. So nice. Oh my gosh, I needed that wind. Wow. These pillars. There's pillars all around the pyramid. Let's see what are they doing over here? Looks like they're doing some construction. Oh, looks like they're gonna put more stairs over here. Okay. Yeah, they're building a staircase. That's why this gentleman, he was down there and he's taking these 2x4s. I don't know. He's taking these wooden panels and he brought them over here. So I guess they're gonna have two different staircases are gonna be on the pyramid. So one over here and then one over there on the back where I came from. That's good. That should cut some traffic at least, but still, I'm not sure if that's the best way to to get to the top. At least those stairs are just very narrow and very steep. But yeah, definitely be careful when climbing up here. But the view, just immaculate. Oh, they do have stairs going up, and these are also quite steep. But it's closed. No access. Darn. Yep. Do not climb. No access. All right. Well, guess I can't go up there. But the view up here, just amazing. Just so beautiful. At one point, this was all jungle, right? And this whole Angkor Wat was not just a building by itself, but it was a city, a functioning city that I think even had up to millions of people living here, and they partook in commerce, business. They had a civilization going here, and then for whatever reason they had a downfall and this whole place was abandoned. I guess that's what happens to all empires sooner or later. They all somehow have a good start or a rough start. They reach a peak and then there is a downfall, whether it's a prolonged downfall or just a straight downfall. They all somehow vanish one way or another. So there are more ruins over here, and of course the Nagas. I mean, there must be at least over 1,000 Nagas just in Angkor Wat. It's unbelievable just to see how many Nagas there are just all over this place. Wow, I didn't think Nagas or the Naga statue was as common, but take a look here. There's also, I'm not sure what the history is behind this particular building, but again, the formation, very beautiful. Almost reminds me, I know I'm stretching this, but almost reminds me of a very small scaled down version of Chichen Itza. Take a look at that. Looks like there are no signs or restrictions, so I guess I can climb this one. The steps don't seem too bad. Wow. Yeah, so one of the things that I do want to emphasize, the heat is definitely a factor in all of this. Deciding when and where to go. I've seen some folks, they are burning up. They have turned pink from the heat. Wow, just incredible being able to walk through these ruins that were built hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Wow, looks like there's more construction going on over there. Wow. So they're using some equipment to build or maybe recreate some of the monuments that were here in the 14th, or I mean in the 12th century. Wow, interesting. I'm gonna go check that out, see how they're building it. A little bit of a tough skip, a little bit tough just walking down. Just gotta be careful, one step at a time, right? Wow, this is very interesting just to be able to walk down these stairs. Ooh. The steps are so narrow. I have to walk down this way. I don't feel like it's optimal to walk straightward, but I feel more comfortable walking or using the side as a means to get through. But looks like they built some scaffolding here of sorts. I think that's interesting. Looks like they're trying to maintain some of the blocks in place. Wow. Very interesting. So I wonder if they use these blocks, original blocks, or different type of blocks. Huh. Now I'm curious. So the construction site is over here. And looks like they're using some type of equipment to build one of the ancient ruins, I guess you could say. Wow. Very interesting. Looks like they got the whole machinery going on here. Wow, they got scaffolding too. Wow. Oh yeah, they are building the monument up there. Wow. Yeah, so it looks like this may be a newer addition to the park here, or to the Angkor Wat facility. Looks like they're expanding different areas, and they're using different machinery. I see another one over there. They're just all over the place. It seems like they're gonna try to recreate what Angkor Wat was really about. I think that's pretty interesting. I mean, in the future, there might be, this area just might be a whole massive park dedicated to Angkor Wat, its history, and just, I can just see like an entire thing. I can see, yeah, I guess in the future, it's just gonna be a hugely rebuilt Angkor Wat civilization, maybe. I'm not sure, but that's kind of cool. They are rebuilding the architecture and the buildings, trying to make it look as close as possible to how it was before. Yeah, very cool. Yes, and it gets people excited too. It gets people excited to learn more about the Angkor Wat civilization. That's very cool. I wanted to see these buildings, but when I was over there, I was like, dang, do I gotta walk all the way over here? But I was able to make it, even though I am burning up. It is hot. I've drenched myself a few times, but wow, these buildings are awesome. There's like at least 12 of them. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way out of the 12, but wow. It doesn't seem like this area is getting too much attention, so I figured that I'd swing by and just check them out and see what they're all about. Maybe they're still under construction, or they're still adding elements of what this is. But yeah, not really sure what this is all about. But let me see if I can at least go into one of them. Definitely like to see what it looks inside. Okay, they got some scaffolding here. All right, wow. Okay. So it's just like a giant building with a huge open top up there, huge ceiling. Wow. Just looks like there's a whole lot of stones inside. These look like some kind of windows. Wow. Well, that's about it. Not really sure, but again, you can see the Nagas right there. They are everywhere, just all over. I've never seen, when I first saw them in the capital, Phnom Penh, I did not think they were gonna be as common here in Angkor Wat, but those Naga things are just everywhere. Everywhere I go, there is a Naga. And over here, there is a whole, there's a whole market. So if you get hungry, if you're thirsty, if you just want to chill, this area over here has just a bunch of food, bunch of drinks, cooling off areas, bathrooms. I'm sure there must be bathrooms. And I see some folks over here. They are serving food, they're eating. So they even have hammocks up here too. So I think that's pretty cool. So after you've walked through a few temples or sites, you can come over here, do some shopping. I saw some souvenirs too over here. So that's pretty cool. And there you see, and there, more Nagas. There's a full set of Nagas. There must be like 10 Nagas there. Wow. I think this video is going to become a counter for the amount of Nagas that I've seen. It's just incredible how common that symbol is. Wow. Never even heard of Nagas before I came to Cambodia, and now it's one of my favorite. Hi. Oh no, not right now. Thank you. So thank you. So you can see that there are food vendors here ready to serve some food. There is clothing of all sorts, souvenirs, hats. Yeah, definitely bring a hat. It's a must, a requirement. Do not come here without a hat. That's a explicit warning. Comfortable shoes, do not bring heels, do not bring leather shoes or anything like that. Definitely make sure to come in comfortable clothes. Whew. And so now I'm gonna look for my tuk-tuk driver, and we're gonna head off to the next place, wherever that is. But you can see lots of vendors, lots of souvenirs. And if you still don't have a tuk-tuk, you can come here and solicit the services of a tuk-tuk. So I am at the next temple here. It's called Chao Sai Tevora Temple, and looks like this was built in the early 12th century. I am honestly not familiar with this temple. Not sure what exactly the background is or what it's all about. I know the other ones I was at least had some. I had a little bit of a background knowledge on the other ones, but this one I'm not sure. So maybe I'll have to do some more research on this, and I'll post it in the description or maybe in the video. But let's see what it's all about. I will not be surprised if I see some Nagas. Yep, I already saw them. There are nagas all up in the front of the temple. And as you know, the nagas are protectors of holiness or gods. So they use serpents they use the serpent as protectors. And this reminds me of the other temple where I was at. It's kind of a long, stretched path of sorts. Yeah, looks like they have a lot of nagas here. Wow. Yeah, wow, lots of nagas. But some are broken, so you can see the head is not there. Only maybe those two over there seem complete. And I'm not even sure if this building actually had nagas like this. It just seems like they threw the nagas. It just seems like they placed the nagas on top of this platform. But yeah, I feel like the nagas go around the site, right? Not all over or maybe they were around and they just set them aside for now. So yeah. So let's see down this path. I'm not sure what that is, but oh, looks like there's a river down there. I'll probably check that out in a little bit, but I want to check this out first. Over here, let's see. There, yeah, okay. Yeah, nagas at the forefront, but the building, very beautiful. Wow. Long path into the temple, or at least it looks like a temple. The columns right here, you can see this beautiful path. Just looks very ancient. And it's surprising to me that at one point all this was a jungle, and I cannot even imagine what this looked like at night. That must have been a little bit of a frightening experience, especially with bats and monkeys and all the different kinds of animals surrounding the environment here. Wow. My goodness. You know, I initially thought the $36 to enter Angkor Wat was a little bit pricey because I thought it was only going to be the main Angkor Wat location, but it just gives you access to the entire area, and I think that's awesome. So I think it is worth the $36 just for one day, but it's just so much to see, and there is no way that anybody can fully grasp the concepts or the learnings or all that Angkor Wat has to offer in one day. It's just impossible. Lots of history, lots of sights to see, and they're building more. Wow. I'm standing in one of these entries. Wow. Just incredible to see the relics and the ancient sites of this. There's a Buddha over there. It seems like this one is a very small. This seems like a smaller altar. You can see that they put a robe, but the statue is quite small. Wow, lots of carvings inside and you can see that there are carvings. Wow. I like how the door or the entry paths look very symmetrical. Just very incredible how they're able to do that. So I am just at the tip of the river. The river is right there. Down there, there's not much to see. The river's just not visible, but I'm at the tip of the river, and just seeing this from this point just seems like it's just incredible. You know, I can imagine some of the folks back in the day just coming to the temple and walking this path and seeing the symmetry of the entrance, just going almost to, I don't want to say infinity, but just the symmetry right into the Buddha is incredible. And then you have this kind of a welcoming, I don't know, this decor on the side. Just incredible and powerful. Wow. Wonder how life was back then. And I'm on the other side of the street. There are souvenirs of all sorts. Oh no, thank you, thank you. There are so many souvenirs. You can see some of the paintings here, dresses, coconuts, bananas, all sorts of different things that you can purchase on your visit. Here is yet, hi. No, thank you, thank you. So these paintings are amazing. Wow. Really like these paintings. Wow. Oh, looks like someone actually painted this by hand. Wow. So these are hand painted paintings. Oh, that's incredible. Someone very artistically talented managed to paint this. You can see the paint is there, and you know what I see there? I see a lot of hours, a lot of hard work, and a lot of just a lot of years. You can see how the paint is just dripping, and it's almost like layers upon layers of paint. Wow, a lot of years of good painting there. What's this gentleman doing? He's making a tree.
Tree of life.
Tree of life?
Yeah, it's a leather shadow puppet.
Oh,
Leather.
it's a puppet?
Yeah, the puppet when we went to Indonesia, they use a shadow puppet for clay.
In Indonesia?
Yeah, but for us we make only the picture like decoration.
Oh.
We make one this, it takes 3 days when you do done finish.
What's this made of? What material is this?
The cow leather. Cow
This
skin.
is leather?
Yeah, it's leather. It's outside, paint the hair.
Oh, wow.
And this is inside to the face.
Wow.
When we do done finish, we paint the color, we hang it up.
Oh,
So
wow.
finish, yeah.
So this is the beginning.
Yeah, beginning like they have the different.
Oh, so these are the finished products?
Really done.
Wow. How much is this? How much those? What's the price? Price?
On the side, on the work enterprise on the side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because more work, we try a little bit more.
Yeah.
Day, try a little more, but
Wow. So these are all handmade?
all this is handmade.
Wow.
Culture,
Sheesh.
like traditional culture.
Wow.
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 Tree of life with Buddha.
Oh, the tree of life right here. How much does this something like this run?
Is $40.
$40?
Yeah.
$40 and it takes 3 days. Wow.
Yeah, and the small one like that, Apsara, $15.
$15?
Less work and less.
What about this elephant right here?
This one it take 4 days. We try the $50.
$50
Yeah,
and it takes 4 days.
Yeah,
But you can
it's
see
fine.
the detail. My gosh. Wow.
Shape is
Incredible. Wow. Dang. Wow.
cool. We roll it out. We put it in the box like this.
Oh,
Put it
so
in
this
bag
is
for
the
traveling
the packaging.
yeah, packing for the bag.
Wow.
We roll it out.
Which one's the most difficult to make? Which takes the longest?
More detail, more work like this.
Oh yeah, that
You
one.
see a lot of detail. You see.
Yeah.
This is more. You see.
How long have you been doing this?
10 years.
You do this 10 years?
Yeah, over in here at my store. Right? Don't
Wow. Wow. Dang, this is cool, man.
And that one you can see the relief is pretty.
Yeah, dang. The detail is so fine, so precise. My goodness sake. Wow.
This one is rubbing.
What?
The rubbing of the wall. The rubbing on the wall that I rub it on the temple, on the carving on the wall. That I take it
Oh,
out. But the material we make is rice paper.
wow.
It's a press rubbing. That's why you can see in both like 3D.
Oh, yeah.
Etching on the relief on the carving. You see?
Oh, I see. Yeah, you rubbed it. Okay. Oh, okay.
Nighttime.
Yeah.
The temple closed, so we do at nighttime. We make
Wow. Oh, this one. Wow. You can see like a 3D.
yeah, the standard. Like
How much are these?
$10.
$10?
Side.
Wow. Yeah, these are incredible. You paint these too?
No, my brother.
Oh, your brother? Wow. Yeah.
Taste with together.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are very talented, man. Jeez. Wow. These are so beautiful, man. Jeez. You sell these online or just here, man?
No, not just here. No,
Why not online?
no, I don't do. I never do it online.
Why not?
Yeah, because I sell only like this place because many tourists will come
Oh.
back and see my stuff and want to buy.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, man, you have some great talent, man. Jeez. Very, very, very talented, man. I could never do something like this. This is just immaculate. Wow. Extremely, extremely talented, man. Jeez. Wow. That is awesome, dude. Wow. That gentleman is on another level. Jeez. How does he come up with that stuff? Jeez. Wow. And he told me he doesn't sell them online. Not sure why. Maybe he has a contract with the facilities here, but I'm pretty sure if he sold some of that stuff online, or he even designed like non Angkor Wat related art, I think, oh my gosh, with that level of talent, jeez, I would be interested in some other like non Angkor Wat related art. I mean, I would love some of that. I've never seen something like that, like where he said it's kind of like the shadow puppet or something like that. I could see some other stuff that he could create that may not be Angkor Wat related. Dang, that's a really awesome skill. So this is yet another temple. Not sure what this temple is called, but yeah, very interesting. It kind of has kind of the same designs as the other one. The stairs are quite steep, but let me go see if I can climb this. Oh, yeah, that's definitely steep. Wow. Looks like there's some kind of carvings up there. Looks like there might even be a hatch, like some kind of doorway. Looks like something's been blocked off, but I'm not really sure what. So I am here at the next temple. They brought me here to the next stop. My tuk-tuk driver brought me to the next temple. I think this is the final temple. Not sure, but I visited so many ancient ruins within the past 5 hours. I feel like I'm almost in ancient times. I mean, I've just gone all over. And you know what? The interesting thing is, when I booked the tuk-tuk, he told me if I wanted the short circuit or the long circuit, and actually I chose a short circuit because of my limited time here in Angkor Wat or in Siem Reap. But I cannot imagine the long circuit. Oh my goodness, that is intense. But wow, just a lot to see, a lot to experience. Just so much beautiful areas, ancient ruins of all sorts. And another thing that surprises me is how these folks were able to live here. You know, build this, live here, build civilization here with with this temperature, with the heat at this level. Oh my goodness. And they just lived as if just regular life, just living life and enjoying life, I guess, doing business, going about their day. And it's just incredible the things that they're able to do. I actually don't have any knowledge on this temple. Not sure what it's about, but all I can say is just that it's immaculate. My goodness. Wow. Wow, these hallways are like a labyrinth of sorts. Yeah, it looks like there might be an echo chamber in here, but that's up for debate. Not sure. Wow. And there's a Buddha over there. There's no head. And there doesn't appear to be bats up here. So it's good, I guess. More ruins over here. Wow. Very beautiful. Just the architecture all over the. Wow. And looks like they're trying to repair some of this, or at least keep it in place. Wow. You know what? I'm over here. Over here. I am so. Over here. I am so curious about how this tree is wrapping around the structure. Wow. Take a look at that. That tree just has wrapped itself around the wall. Just creates a beautiful, beautiful picture, or just looks unreal, I guess you could say. I keep running into a gentleman. We run into each other at every temple, and every time we keep saying, "Hey, see you later." And now I'm wondering. No, it's just a friendly encounter. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, you keep seeing the same folks throughout the day. I started the trip at 5:30 a.m., so it's common just to keep running into the same folks here. So it's pretty nice. Wow, look at this temple. I don't think this temple has been repaired or maintained, and I like that. I like that they've kept it that way. It's not touched, I guess you could say. So, wow, the carvings are amazing. All sorts of different things here. Let me go inside here. Wow. Whoa. Wow. I like how all these blocks are positioned and just thrown here. It gives it like more depth, more character. And I like how the tree has just crawled into the wall here. Jeez. Now this looks like a temple that just didn't have a good day. But yeah, the ruins here are just impressive, just how everything is left. Oh, so wow, there are more trees over here that just have caved into the temple. Wow, I really like that. Like the layout of just kind of like the remains are still intact, but just nature just taking over. Wow. Look at that tree. I like how that tree has just spawned into the wall. And to think at one point this was an entire civilization that was thriving and had just a lot of things going for it. And I actually just jumped out of this area because I can smell bats, or at least the remains of bats. I don't know, but there's like a bat smell in there. Checking my clothes, but yeah, it definitely, I can smell it. I don't know, it's that really pungent smell. I don't know how to fully describe it, but it's just very foul, to say the least. Yeah, it's definitely, bats have been around here. Whoa. Looks like some of these carvings just kind of disappeared. Wow, there's more stuff over here. It's incredible how this goes into almost into like a labyrinth. Like I don't even know where I started, to be honest. I'm a little lost. Wow, I like how the green has appeared on that building. Oh, there's more too? This is like an entire villa.
Il y a l'objet, monsieur. C'est l'histoire. C'est faire savoir dans l'intérieur. Et donc,
Wow. Oh, there's way more down here. Oh, there's one of those other trees. I guess those trees are just like a big picture spot. I have to take one later, but yeah, those trees are just a great picture spot for folks. Just kind of how those trees have infused themselves into the wall. Wow. There's another one of those trees. My gosh. I wonder if this is how civilizations look like when hundreds and hundreds of years later they just vanish for whatever reason. Let's see what's over here.
Sometimes you might think that Russia.
Oh, it looks like they have some construction going on over here. Hi. Hi. Hey. Wow, it looks like this is under construction. You can see that they've brought some of the blocks here. I'm not sure if these are made with modern equipment or actually blocks that they found around. But you can see that there's labels. There's different labels on the blocks up there. Not sure what they represent. Looks like they're using fractions or something like that. Not sure. Wow. Or, oh yeah, the labels are right here. SW3/3+B. Maybe they're part of a bigger puzzle or so. They're just kind of sticking them as they fit. Wow, that's impressive. So here is the final market. There's a lot of shirts, souvenirs, hats. Hats are very important, I'll tell you that. Just to walk around here. Lots of dresses. Looks like they have the Cambodian style dresses, some statues, instruments, sandals, flip-flops, all sorts of different things that you can purchase. The tuk-tuks are here. So if you need someone to take you back to your hotel, I guess this is the place to do that. They also have some t-shirts, some really nice bags too. Wow. They have umbrellas. Yeah, actually wouldn't mind an umbrella, especially right now. It's getting close to the afternoon and I don't think it's almost safe to be walking around. I've seen a lot of people who are very sunburned, and yeah, just definitely word of advice is to be careful. Be careful with the heat. It's definitely an advice I would give you. There's a little restaurant over there, some more clothing items, what appears to be at least, and then the bathrooms are over here. So it's free for foreigners with a ticket, 2,000 rials for foreigners without the ticket, which is 50 cents. And if you're a local, that's 500 rials. So if you don't have a ticket, you're gonna pay 50 cents. So just something to be aware of as you're making your way through the temple. And I have to say, I am worn out. I don't think I can do another temple, especially since I woke up at 4 a.m. and got on my tuk-tuk around 4:30, and then I got to Angkor Wat at 5 a.m. But it's been a tiring day. I'm ready to have some lunch because I did not have breakfast. So I think this is it. It's been very fun. I have a lot of thoughts. Wow, it's just been incredible. I don't think there is any way anybody can do the entire Angkor Wat or all the temples in one day. Definitely good to space it out if you can, and highly recommend a tuk-tuk. Highly recommend you bring a lot of water. Definitely a lot of water. One of the cool things about my tuk-tuk driver is that he has a huge case of water bottles. He has a big block of ice in his cooler, and every time he's picked me up, he just like hands me a water bottle, ice cold, and I usually just drench it over me. But that's been what's keeping me on. That's what's been keeping me going. So overall, definitely recommend getting the tuk-tuk. There is little to no way I can foresee myself walking through the different sites, or unless you get a motorbike, I guess that could be also helpful if you're up for that. But the tuk-tuk, $20, water bottle, and he also offered me a wet towelette, so that was really kind of him. Well, other recommendations: wear good walking shoes. I don't like wearing sandals when I'm gonna walk for a long time, but I'd say definitely walking shoes. I always wear New Balances, as you know. New Balance is my go-to shoe. They don't sponsor, or I'm not sponsored by New Balance, but I always go to New Balance I always wear New Balance when I'm taking on long walks. What else? I would also recommend like bringing snacks. I didn't bring snacks, but I wish I would have brought snacks. I think that would have helped me a lot, but yeah, next time. I'd say a tour guide is helpful. I think I could have used a tour guide, but I read a few things about some of the temples and I felt pretty happy with what I learned and with what I saw. I think next time, if I do ever come back, I'm not sure if I'll ever come back, I would recommend getting I think if I were to come back one day, I would definitely look into getting a tour guide. But yeah, a lot of people take pictures. Some people do like to kind of squeeze themselves into pictures, so just something to take a note of. There are waiting times for certain spots, especially the trees, and just different sites, right? Just something to be aware of. People take lots and lots and lots of pictures. This is like a picture mania place, so just be aware that there are people taking so many pictures. Well, I think that's about it. I'm gonna go find my tuk-tuk driver, and I don't know where we're going next. All right, so I am back for another temple visit. So I'm back for another temple visit, and I was just wrapping up my video just a few minutes ago, but my driver told me that there's one temple left, and it's not that I don't want to go, it's just that I'm tired and I'm hungry. But the reason I'm still recording is because I want to get my money's worth. I paid $37 for the entrance, and I paid $37 for the entrance, and I paid $10 and I paid $20 for the tuk-tuk. So I definitely want to get my money's worth. I want to see as much as possible. And I also came to Cambodia, so one more, it's not gonna hurt. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see the temples. And when my driver dropped me off right here, he was smiling, so even better, right? He's excited for me. He's excited for me to explore and see yet another temple. And I know that if I tell him just to skip this one, I'm probably gonna regret it in the long term. Probably think myself, why didn't I stop there? I could have seen something new, or I could have learned something, or anything of that nature. But let's see what this temple is all about. So the Nagas are here in front of, and so the Nagas are here, just some more Nagas, right? And there are tigers, in front of them. So that's a new one. I think I've seen that structure before. So wow. And there is a warning. Do not sit on the nagas. There's long nagas and short nagas. All sorts of nagas. Wow. This almost looks burned. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but looks a little bit burned. Wow. There's a Buddha over there. Looks like it's a... There's a kind of a big size Buddha there with the golden robe at the altar. Wow. Oh, this way? Oh, okay. So the lady told me to go this way. Huh. Wow. Ooh. Another naga. Looks like this is just completely in ruins. Not sure what temple this is, but wow, that's incredible. See that some of the stones there have broken off, or not completely straight, but the more I go into this temple, it just seems like this is like a multi-layered worship area. Take a look at that. Looks like there was a statue here. Now it's just feet. There must have been one here too. I would have liked to see how this looked like when it was in pristine shape, like at the peak of this. That would have been that would be interesting, just to see a rendition, like a 3D model of how this would look like, in like when it was firstly built. Maybe I'll look it up. Maybe there's someone who created a 3D version of this. But wow, it's just amazing how much work has been put into this area. And it's just not really, I'm not sure, like when I grew up as a kid, I didn't even know about Cambodia or Angkor Wat. It's just something like that doesn't really get mentioned, at least my generation maybe. I mean, I've read a lot about like the Roman Empire, the Greeks, the French Revolution, and so forth. But when it came to Cambodia or Asian history, I don't think I really learned much from that era, yeah, I don't think I really knew much about Asian history as I do now. It's just incredible, all the things that it's just incredible how many things there are related to history in Asia. I think it's incredible. Wow. And this whole area has just become like a labyrinth of sorts. Wow. Wow, this goes very deep. Wow. Just deep, levels deep. I thought it was just going to be that front end where that Buddha was, but no, now there's more and more layers to this, and it looks like this could have been one of those pools that I saw at Angkor Wat, because the whole template or the layout looks the same. You can see the spires on the top. They look a bit dark. Wow, imagine living here back in the day. I wonder if people actually lived here or they hung out, and I can smell the bats. There's a smell here. It smells like bats. Yep, definitely. There's bats in here. Wow. Lots and lots of architecture. Looks like there could have been a Buddha right here, but now it's broken apart or has not been maintained or repaired. And I'm not surprised to see another Naga. Wow. I think this is the end, the opposing entrance. Lots of patterns. Wow. There's a tree over there. Just looks very beautiful. The feeling here is very serene, very calm, very just just a very calm place. Let me keep going. I want to see if there's something else over there. Wow, I saw this from afar. I wasn't sure if it was, I'm not sure, are those hands or fingers kind of like laying like this, or just like a column? Huh. Wow. I don't think it's fingers, but you can see different types of, I'm not sure what this is. This looks interesting. This is one particular style of structure that I have not seen, at least not in the other ones, but wow. Oh, see, they're over here too. Wonder what that is or what that represents. It's like a symbol of sorts. Oh, there's more over here. Huh. Wow. Oh, there's more. There's way more over here. More statues, more carvings. But here it is. It's this shape right here. I'm not sure what it fully represents or if it actually means anything, but I hadn't seen these in the other temples, or maybe I missed them, but they're right here. They're over there. Looks like a cocoon, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Wow. And yeah, there's another Naga over there. So there it is. This is the opposing side. And yeah, it looks a bit burnt up. Very dark, very black. Seems like it just wasn't maintained. And like I said, I'd be very curious to see how this would look when it was in pristine shape. Be incredible. So I don't know if I said this earlier, but a lot of these stones are made with limestone and lava stone, so igneous rock, I want to say. So very interesting how they were able to just build everything mostly out of limestone. I mean, how does this like civilization just emerge, disappear, and the buildings also just left abandoned and not a lot of people notice? It's just kind of kept in the dark. I know that there's a lot of debate as to who found them, but I also read that there were some monks who were maintaining them, but they didn't really go into Angkor Wat just because they thought it might be scary, or they were scared of going into Angkor Wat. And then finally in the late 19th century, maybe, or late 1800s, not sure, I guess it started getting more notoriety. So they just started studying more and more and more, and now it's just a sensational place to visit, especially getting the UNESCO name on it. I think that's incredible, but I'm still very impressed how this civilization in the 12th century was able to rise so high, build an entire civilization with incredible buildings, crafting, getting all this stone together, and then they had it fall. And in history, there are a lot of empires or civilizations that we see. They rise up and then they fall, and then a new one, and then they fall, and then they rise again, and then they fall again, and so forth and so forth. I wonder how many years this civilization or this empire lasted. I think the Roman Empire is the one that lasted the longest, right? I have to look that up, but I think the Roman Empire's just been a very, very long-lasting empire, and eventually they also went down in the history books. So the trip is not over. My driver has brought me to this area over here. There's a building over there. I'm not sure what it is. But one thing that did catch my attention was how loud these insects are. And the driver is telling me these are like, this is like a Cambodia insect. I think it's like a grasshopper or a cricket or a fly. I'm not really sure, but it's just they are super loud. I don't know if the microphone can catch them, but just incredibly loud. We parked about 10 feet away from that tree, and they are just buzzing like crazy. And there are a few insects just in the air. I'm kind of trying to knock them out, but wow. Just lots of things going on. So, wow. So I am here. So now I am going to this building. Not sure what this building is all about. Oh, thank you. No, oh, not right now. Thank you. Okay. Oh, not right now. Thank you. No. Okay. No, it's okay. Thank you. No. Thank you. No, I don't. No. No, it's okay. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Hi there. Oh yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
How do you come here? What?
Fly. I fly here.
No man.
What this?
Rowan.
What?
Rowan.
Growan? What is it? Temple?
Over there.
Oh,
You
okay.
see the Rowan.
Oh, Growan Temple?
Early 10th century.
Oh, this the oldest.
Yes.
Wow. Cool. All right, cool. Thank you, man. So one of the things that you should take a note of is not to lose your ticket if you have the paper version, or not delete your QR code, because apparently I've been asked a few times at different spots I go to, they check my ticket, but now I'm in the Kravan temple, early 10th century. So let's see what this is all about. Wow. This doesn't look like a temple. It looks more like I'm not sure. Just doesn't have or maybe just from the back, it doesn't look like a temple. Not really sure. Wow, let's see. There's a tree. Oh, I can hear the grasshoppers, or the Cambodian grasshopper. Not sure what you call it, but yeah. Oh wow, yeah. This doesn't look like a temple per se, but so this doesn't look like the typical temple that I was seeing, but it just looks like a straight line, and I guess this is the altar or the place where the different ceremonies occur, like the main central hub right here. And maybe these are just the different subsectors or auxiliary buildings of sorts. Wow. Yeah, those grasshoppers are loud. Dang, I've never heard grasshoppers like that. Huh. I wonder what's over there. And to think that at some point, I know I said this earlier, but to think that civilization was on the rise here, they had to deal with not just the different animals such as monkeys, elephants, tigers, lions, and also the insects, right? Like these grasshoppers. And then they were all while building the different temples. So, wow, this particular area is very loud. Ooh, wow. Dang, what is that? Dang, how many of those insects are up there? Whoa, they are loud. It almost sounds like a chainsaw. It's coming from this tree right here. Just somewhere in there must be like a nest of these somewhere in there must be a nest of grasshoppers. And the noise is shifting, so sometimes I hear it like going in a circle almost, like sometimes it goes like over there and now over here, now it got louder. Whoa, that's scary. Wow, that's scary. I can already imagine at night I'd be scared. It almost sounds like a chainsaw, but like yeah, I don't know how to. Wonder if this could be turned into music, like very loud, like EDM style maybe. I bet this type of sound could be turned into EDM. It just has like a good vibe to it for EDM. Wow. Well, there's the temple. Not sure exactly too much of the history behind it, but I think this was one of the first temples because it was built in the 10th century, and all the other temples seem to be built between the 11th and 12th century. So this may be the oldest temple around. Maybe that's why it was just so simple. Maybe that's why it looks so simple. Just kind of it just has the barren bones. So now I'm on the other side of where that temple was. I don't know what the temple was named. Actually, I meant to look at the sign, but I totally forgot. I was just kind of thinking about some other things. But now I'm on this side, and just look at that. Isn't that like so beautiful? Wow. That is just beautiful. Just sitting here, relaxing. There is no breeze or wind. But yeah, I mean, this is just amazing. I'm not sure if this is the conclusion, unless my driver takes me elsewhere, but this is just amazing just to be able to take this in, and just a day full of ancient visits, I guess you could say. I'm not sure what else to call it, but the day has just been fully packed. It started just early and it's the afternoon now. I'm hungry. But I really, really enjoyed this visit. Oh my goodness. Just so much to see. The temples are amazing. I think there is almost nothing that can top the Angkor Wat. I know there's other I don't think I think the main attraction obviously is Angkor Wat, and that one is just I really had a very good time there. I really like that. I think if I were to come again, I would spend a little bit more time at Angkor Wat, maybe like 30 or 45 minutes, because I know there were some other things that it was kind of in the outskirt area of the temple, and I was curious, but I also knew that I had an itinerary and I wanted to go to the other places. But if I do come again, I want to spend a little bit more time at Angkor Wat. The the temple with the faces, I thought that was it was just very quick. I think I spent no more than 20 to 30 minutes there. And then the following temple, that one I know, actually it was a pyramid. I spent a good amount of time there just because I just because there was a lot of things going on there. There was monkeys and the stairs were really high. So I really like that. Like I like climbing stairs for me. I like hiking. So for me, I thought that was just really fun, and just getting to see the pyramid was really cool. Um, yeah, and then the other temple, I think Bromot or Promot. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. The one with the trees kind of like draping onto the walls. That one was really cool. I think Angkor Wat and the temple with the draping trees, I think I would have spent more time there. I would have really enjoyed just learning more about that area. And I'm actually going to go back and just see what I can read more. If I'm going to go back and read more, and I'm going to go and read more about those two places, just because they did seem very fascinating to me. But to conclude, to possibly conclude, maybe, you won't believe what's over here. Yep, you guessed it. Nagas. Yeah, just a bunch of Nagas hanging out right on the lake. Isn't that so poetic? I think this is just a great way to conclude my fascination with this entity called the Nagas. Just saw them everywhere. I'm probably gonna see them later today too, but I think it's just a fascinating. I've never ever seen something that maybe the Hydra in the Greek mythology, but I've really taken a liking to the Nagas, like I've been saying. So I'm gonna read more about the history of the Nagas. Very cool concept, very cool idea, and I just like how this view kind of captures the essence of the Nagas right on the water.